Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Divine Angelic Chosen One channel. My name is Gracie, and I also have a channel, the Spiritual Earth Angel 2323. So today I'm coming to you because God's been showing me in my dreams about fallen angels, coming into human form and mixing with humans. Which is called Nephillim, Nephillim. And these angels are half human and half angels, and they were fallen. And they come from the book of Enoch. I remember years ago, God had took me into a dream, and he was talking about the lost book of Enoch, which is not even in the Bible. And the lost book of Enoch talks about the Nephillim, or the Nephils, which is fallen ones, half-breed. They're abomination and they shadow hunters. They can be male and female gender. Their rank is medium. Their health is medium. And they're mainly located here on Earth. So that's just a description, of what they are. And I can go into more details because he gave me a lot of revelation on it, and I'm coming to speak on it because I've been doing some fasting and everything. And then I had a dream just before this video, and this video is being recorded live on September the 25th. So, and when it be posted, and it be there for anybody that is meant to hear this, the chosen ones, the divine being, the spiritual beings, to get into depth of what's really is happening on earth, from the heavens and the earth, and what God is showing me, what is roaming around on earth and is being exposed. Even though it was exposed years and years and centuries before, Jesus was even come upon the scene. After Adam and Eve was created by God. So, and then that's when these fallen angels decided to leave heaven and come to earth. And what they did, they mix and mingle with humans and form human babies, half human, half angels. So we're gonna get into it. I thank all my subscribers, and I thank also the new ones. I thank you for reviewing and posting, reviewing my contents, and I thank everyone for that. And so I'm working on, it's like this high frequency energy that God's been giving me. And it's like people still try to keep coming into my dreams and try to alter my dreams, so the outcome can be unfavorable to me. But then God turns around at the end of the dream, everything is favorable. He turns it around. So whatever these people are mentioning things for my bad or for my evil, for me not to have any good things in my life, God has already turned it around for it to be good. So, and he also came to me and he told me in the dream that, I don't have to worry no more about people coming in trying to attack me physically, mentally, in my dream states, in my relationship, in my finances, or anything like that, my home, or anything, that it does not even reach me anymore. I'm being so violently protected at this time because of the revelation that God has given me that I need to put out, because people needs to hear it, of what's really going on in this earthly realm, and also in heaven, when we're living in the last days, you know, um, of this world, because you can see the changes of the time, the weather, um, different things is happening. So we are living, in the last days, when the book of Revelation. So, and I'm not sure why I'm getting all into that, but I thank God wanted me to talk about that also. And it was, in the dream, the person was shape shifting. And I could tell that the person was shape shifting because they were shifting to try to put an image of somebody that I know or somebody that I dated. And they tried to shift into that person for me to accept them into my dreams, which I already knew. That this is what this person was doing, was a shapeshifter, and they're trying to come into. So then that's when God led me to this Nephillim. It led me to the fallen angels. A lot of them trying to mix with human, so that way they can become immortal, where they can't die, that they want to live forever, and they want to be free of all diseases and different things like that. And they have a lot of ability. So I'm going to talk about this because it needs to be taught. There are some tarot readers that are mixing their bloodline with Nephilims in the spiritual realm. They're trying, and when they do try to mix their energy or their bloodline, so that way they can to attach, so they can continue the lineage of their legacy on and on, which God had already forbidden from this happening. And in the book of Enoch, it's a lost book. If you want to go and read, you can read about it. It talks about that. And like I said, there are some tarot readers are trying to be half angels and half human, and they're dipping and dabbing in forbidden spiritual realms and knowledge to do shadow hunting. And what they do then, when they do shadow hunting, they study upon all the full moon cycles of each zodiac sign, of the chosen ones, the spiritual being, and then they try to cloak their self into being in human form, because like I say, they can change from angel to human. So, and they try to cloak their self into human form in your dream state, which they really are fallen angels. And what they do is they try to attach an entity or energy to your spirit, and this through sexual. And that's why you always want to cleanse yourself before you go to bed at night. Refrain from watching any type of sinful things before you go to bed at night. And this is the stuff that God has given me before I get into details of what He wants to talk about. Because they try to attach, anytime that you have intercourse in your dream, or either in your personal life, that somebody's not supposed to be your soulmate or your twin flame or your divine counterpart, they will try to attach by going to the spirit room to have sex with you, and to attach themselves to you and have a cord to you. And when you go through your healing process and your spiritual awakening, those are things that you need to recognize, from being into the matrix, where you're being controlled by porn, you're being controlled by sexual immoralities and different things. You see it in the movies, you see it in the TV, you see it, sex is everywhere. You see it everywhere in the movies, TV shows. I mean, it's everywhere. It's talked about. It's all over on the internet too, so you can't really avoid it. But the thing is God is saying that be mindful and aware of things you are watching, so it does not try to attach itself to your soul, in the dream world, in your conscious state, as you astral projection, or your journey of your healing and your awakening. It also talks about, excuse the noise, but it also talks about too that, in the dream they try to attach an entity by sexual intercourse, but it didn't work. Every time they try to come near me or try to do anything, it was always interruption. The whole time throughout the dream was interruption. And then I saw that then I switched to where I was eating watermelon. I cut a watermelon and I started eating it. And when I looked up the word watermelon, it said success and prosperity and abundance. So I knew that whatever this thing or this entity or this person or whoever is trying to send to me, it didn't work, because I had already got word from God that anything that they tried to do, this group, these people, whatever tried to do, it doesn't work. Because God had already said that I'm already spiritual protected. It doesn't even touch me. And so by them trying to astral project in my dreams, when I'm sleeping, only thing you doing is making yourself get stuck. You getting stuck. Whatever you try to wish upon me, you getting stuck, and it's being reversed right back to you. Because like I said, God had already told me that nothing that you do is not going to it's not even come towards me. It doesn't come towards me. I'm still here. Nothing that you do is affecting me. You wasting your powers and your talent by coming against someone that is really chosen by God and try to make them seem like they are not chosen and you are the chosen one. No, you are the fallen angel seed. Is what you are. Let's repeat it again. You are the fallen angel seed. You is half human and you are half angel. You are not called by God. You are not called by the chosen ones. You hide behind all this dark magic that you use to intimidate people, to project out there as you try to harvest all these souls. Yes, I'm calling you out because it's time to expose you for who you really are. Like I said, you're a hypocrite. In one of my postings that I did about a hypocrite, you look so shiny on the outside, like you so sweet and innocent, but your inside is full of greed, indulgence, and darkness, and bitterness, and hatred towards someone. because you have lost your gifts. And God had already showed me, you lost your gifts. You lost your gifts, your spiritual gifts. You lost your natural gifts also. So what you do now is you seek other tarot readers on what they're saying or what they're talking about, and then you try to make it as your own, like you have got this great download, and you really haven't. He showed me you lost your gifts. You lost it. You don't even have the ability. So you try to attach to memories of the past, memories of old relationships and old things that keep you stuck, to attach to people's souls. And it doesn't work. And so you get angry and get mad and still try to be obsessive over, because nothing that you do or send my way, it doesn't work. Because I overcome it at all times, every day. I'm doing spiritual warfare every day. It's because of you're still trying to come after a true chosen one. You try to go into my videos and try to talk about it in certain ways, because you know it's copyright. But you talk about it in certain ways to make it downplay, like I'm not chosen, or I'm not talking about what I need to talk about with God, the truth, and exposing the truth. And the way that God wants to say is, you is abomination to the spirit world. And that's why Archangel Michael and all the angels came against you all to destroy y'all in the Bible. Because God did not want all the secrets of heaven to be mixed in with humans. It was forbidden. And I'm going to get into it, because then it makes sense with everything that I've been having with these dreams and different things as God's been showing me about it. Because I have been quiet for a while, because God's been showing me a lot of things. What is happening on earth and on the spiritual realm. And how people are deceiving people and thinking that they are so nice and that they're so helpful, that they are for the chosen ones, the spiritual being, the divine beings, you know, twin flame soulmates, divine counterparts, and they're really not. They're so dark inside, very, very dark souled inside. Shadow hunters is what they are. They go into the night and they start looking for who they may seek and devour and to gain their spirit. If you go back to some of my messages on the spiritual earth, Angel 623 is one of my channels. I talk about a lot of things like this. If you go to my channel, this channel, the Divine Angelic Chosen One, I talk about a lot of things that's been happening, you know, up to this point. And I remember about a book that I talked about, that God showed me about the zodiac signs, how it was discovered, you know, in the sky. You know, how, I forgot what his name was, but he discovered zodiac signs, astrology. He discovered all of that. And he was given revelation and naming all of the stars as his zodiac signs. And I have to look that up again, because I was studying, reading about that too. But then God took me years ago about the book of Enoch. And I read about the book of Enos, the lost book, and it talks about the Nephilims, or the giants, as you say, the fallen ones, have angels, have and have humans. So excuse the background. My husband is snoring because I'm up early in the morning because I have this revelation that God wants me to get out. You trying to stop people's destiny when people is already married, in the spirit and in the natural. So how can you stop something from coming to somebody when they're already married in the spiritual and the natural, to their divine counterpart, their soulmate, their twin flame, or whatever? And this is for the chosen ones, to give you revelation on what we are dealing with on this earth. And so let's get into it. So it says, when man began to multiply on the face of men, the land and daughters were born to them. The sons of God saw that the daughters of men were attractive, and they took as their wives any of they choose. Then the Lord said, my spirit shall not abide in man forever, for he is flesh. His days shall be 120 years. The Nephillim were on the earth in those days, and also afterwards, when the Son of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. There were the mighty men who were of old, the men of Reon. And this came from Genesis 6, chapter 6, 1 through 4. And it was the English version of it. But they also have the King James also, if you want to look it up. And so let's get into the characteristics of Nephillim. Nephillim is a race of beings who are half human and half angel. They can be the children of human and angel who initially appears to be perfectly normal human, or they can be combining angelic energies with the human soul. They rarely contract any childhood diseases, however, and sometimes between the ages of 12 and 18, they experience amazing abilities. They are strong, fearless, and intelligent, attractive, confident to the point of being arrogant. The majority of Nephilim lives peacefully among few full humans while hiding their dual heritage from the human world. So let's get into it, because this is the revelation he's been giving me for some days now. So let's get into this. Okay, so I'm just going to read on it so that way you can understand. The children of God looked down upon the human on earth, and they found them fair. But it was forbidden for the sons of God to leave heaven and walk the earth. They were overcome with lust for the daughters of men, and they greatly desired them. And so a group among them conspired to leave heaven and go to earth. That's how they started. They left their place from a high. They left the gates of heaven beyond them, and they descended to the earth. Those who left the hosts of heaven to walk upon earth among men became known as the Nephillim. Such children and their descendants. The Nephilims, however, were far too powerful for their human mother. As a result, the mother of Nephilim died during birth. To show their acceptance of the Nephilim, they gifted them with angel lifespan and human souls. They also allowed the fallen angels' power to be passed down to Nephilim, however, were generally not able to be accessed until their 18th year of their birthday. These children of the Nephilim were proud. They became great leaders among men. They undertook to teach their mortal brethren the secrets reserved for the gods. They taught men the art of warfare and how to make weapons in fire. They taught men how to adore themselves. The art of consciousness and the wearing of jewelry they taught them. They taught men the secrets of healing herbs and how to call spirits by name. They taught men how to read signs in the heavens. various almonds and dividends, dividing. Oh, dividends. They taught them. They taught men how to bring forth water in the desert and how to make plants yield bountiful fruit. All the arts and signs which the gods has forbidden, they taught them men. They taught them the secrets of living things, that the spirit of a living body resides in the blood, and by partaking of blood, the partaking of the blood gains the power of the creatures whose lives is in the blood. The sons of God took the wife, the daughter, and the men, and they impregnate them. The children were part divine and part mortal, and they grew rapidly to great statures. Their bodies were far and smooth, limb-like their angelic parents. Their mind were keen. Their eyes look upon the world of both heaven and earth. The mysteries hidden from men were revealed to their divine sight. When God looked down upon the earth, he saw men living like God. The Lord grew angry. He saw that men no longer poured the blood sacrifice upon the altars and kept the life of the blood to increase their own strength. He saw the men with the tools of gods making the earth bountiful as only the gods should do. He saw them piercing the mysteries of the heavens, so that their knowledge of themselves and the world rivaled that of the gods. And he saw them with great weapons of war, weapons which only the gods kept for themselves, and he grew afraid. God saw the Nephilims among the children of men, teaching them, and he saw that the Nephilim had become great leaders of men. And he feared that Nephillim would lead the children of men to very gates of heaven to reclaim the realm forsaken by their fathers. And as so God undertook to punish Nephilims and wiped their seed from all the earth. Yet they had so intertwined themselves with the children of men that nearly all men bore the Nephilian tint. So God hardens his heart against all mankind, and therefore determined to kill every last one. So let's get into deeper into this. The physical characteristic of Nephilim tends to vary. However, they are generally revealed as unearthly, beautiful people. Most of these Nephilim simply appear human in form with a minor angelic trait, unique natural eyes, hair color similar to that of their parents. There are two types of Nephilim depending on how they are created. The natural one. The natural Nephilim is the offspring of a human and angel inside a vessel. They have angel DNA in their bodies and are extremely rare occurrence. Any Nephilim that is discovered by heaven is ordained to be shadowed. This type of Nephilim is the main, and this is the main one. Okay, so shadow hunters. So shadow hunting, and they can be shadow hunters also, what I talked about. Shadow hunters are Nephilims that weren't originally born as such, but were created by drinking the blood of Raziel, an angel who saw them as an assets for earth safety from dark forces. Due to the contempt heaven holds towards Nephilim, Raziel gifted the shadow hunters with warded institute all over the world and special magical ruins to aid them in battle and protect them from the wrath of heaven. Despite being much more common, the natural Nephilim shadow hunters are largely unheard of in heavens or on earth due to Raziel protection. Often required to use angelic ruin-based magic to across their angelic powers due to them being more human than angels. They don't want me talking about this, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Okay, so let's get back into it with this. So you can see that there's a natural Nephillim, and then you have the shadow hunters also. Um, descriptions of what we're talking about. So let's get into it, because he gave me some deep revelation on this that I'm talking about. Let's see, let's go down, because I already talked about this too. Okay, so like their parents' race, Nephillim are a biological life form, not unlike many other creatures in the universe. However, their divine percentage does afford the Nephillim power beyond anything a normal being is capable of. An irony of carrying both holy and unholy energies within themselves is the insisted part of their existence. Through their powers can make them extremely dangerous if provoked. Most have intelligence equal to that of a human. So this is what we're dealing with, on earth. Half human, half angels, beings. That is a mix among us. Nephilims are identically to human in most ways. They eat and drink the same things and perform all the same biological function. They have the same lifespan as ordinary humans. If a Nephilim mates with an ordinary human, the child will be a near mortal Nephilim. The children of two Nephilim will also be Nephilim. Thus, there are many Nephilims who are many generations removed from contact with the celestial beings. Nephilims sometimes have glowing eyes like an angel, although their glow is somewhat dim and grayish in color, and opposed to the bright white or bluish glow of regular angels. They give off a very distinctive smell to angels and demons that is considered repulsive to most distinguished of both classes, which makes them easy to track. Nephilim also have a higher body temperature than human. We're getting into it because it's true. These people are. I have encountered some of them, so that's how I know that it's true with these people. Nephilim grow up with a sense of entitlement. You see what that entitlement is? They feel like they're entitled to everybody's energy, that they're entitled to everybody's destiny, and they're really not. And strong impatience when they don't get their way. And you see, if they don't get their way, then they become very obsessive with you. And they'll try to do everything to turn their self-dark to come against you, the chosen one, the spiritual being. And that's why I say you have to pay attention to your spiritual dreams and around you, what's around you that is hidden. God begin to open your eyes up when you go through your spiritual awakening, your spiritual healing, your spiritual journey. You begin to waken up out of the matrix, and you begin to see different things of the unknown and unnatural. And so let's go on, because this is very interesting. Nephilim do everything on a large scale. They are prone both to act as great heroes and massive evil. When Nephilims build structure, they always endure to make them as large and imposing as possible. Nephilim love to build palaces with mirrored rooms dedicated to single activities. They prefer to take many lovers at the same time rather than to settle down with a single mate. These are the characteristics and behaviors of them. So if you encounter any of these, then you'll know who you're dealing with. I have angel and I have human. Nephilim generally don't like having limits on their own behavior. They frequently have no problem with imposing them on others. So you see how they try to impose whatever they're feeling or whatever they're lacking in life, they try to impose it on you. They are drawn to position of command and power, or else they become wandering heroes who swear allegiance to nothing but their own glory. Many Nephilims will create cults around them and gleefully accept the adoration and even worship of ordinary humans. So you see where the cults come in, and the covens, and the witches and the warlocks, all of that comes into play. Nephilims tend to be good. Listen to that. They tend to be good. They look for the good in everyone around them. Many become paladins. Some Nephilims have no tolerance for evil at all and will happily join up with a local church cause a crusade. There are few evil Nephilims, but they are very rare and seen. Nephilim often love to hunt and are renewed for their behavior and ability to bring down large and dangerous prey. Many Nephilims make their living hunting monsters and may decide to adventure simply for the opportunity to kill dangerous beasts and be seen doing it. Despite their ancestry, Nephilims are never a lawful good alignment, and which is true, they're not. So that's why God is showing me all this stuff about them. And they're in the lost book of Enoch. That's why the lost book of Enoch is not even in the Bible. Nephilium tends to do well in human societies, often becoming royal champions, military commanders, personal bodyguards, and elite soldiers. And a lot of these people are following me. A lot of these people are following me. Military people. People that has been in war, serving war, has been following me for the last 9 months. Everywhere I go, they follow. So now I'm exposing them. In their own nation, Nephilim has human-like societies, except that everything would seem exaggerated to the eyes of ordinary humans. Holidays last longer and are more intensely celebrated. The cuisine is more intensely spiced and flavored. The costumes worn by people are more elaborate. The title of the nobility are exceedingly long. The architect is grandiose, and simply events like a crash or greeting can become the basis of lifelong feuds. In some places, Nephilim has established himself as noble class ruling over ordinary humans. In those places, in the noble culture were seen as that of the Nephil nation, although such extravagance may not be reflected in the ways the ordinary people live. Sometimes Nephilim don't even fully realize what they are until something life-threatening or life-changing happens and something just click. So if you come here, you'll find out, that Nephilims are near normal, mortal Nephilims. I'm gonna give you the characteristics of this, because he had me to do some research and look this stuff up because it was a lot. So the characteristic of them, and then I get into their powers and abilities. So the characteristics are green or gold eye color, rarest colors. Like we said earlier, brown hair that has a reddish or goldish to it in the sun. Speed. You may have already been faster than others around without noticing it. You are adopted or don't know who your real parents are, especially the father. Fast metabolism keep you in shape, and you can usually eat whatever you want. pointy ears. Not talking about elf ears from Lord of the Rings, just a little point. So you have pointy ears. Tall. This isn't far all Nephilims, but definitely so. So they can be tall. You can sense certain things happening around you. So this is some of the characteristic of them. Their powers and their abilities. Let's get into that. Why not? Okay, so although outward their appearance to be ordinary human, Nephilims are bestowed with celestial powers that they inherit from the angel parent. All Nephilims have a powerful cosmic, but are otherwise indistinguishable from a human. They are often fast and strong beyond the limits of human ability. Some Nephilims might show their strength, intelligence, or leadership ability instead. Whatever their strength, Nephilims are very aware of their surroundings and are generally excellent at reading people. Although they are mortal, Nephilims are not sickened, and tends to live longer lives than normal humans. Aside from this, though, they are aesthetician humans with all the weakness that are entailed. Superhuman intelligence or perception. Nephilim possesses enhanced intuition, pattern solving, information storage and retrieval, and logical and psychological structure. As a result of the angelic process they have undergone, they are capable of knowledge, wisdom, and comprehend beyond the human ability to understand. Their intuition is heightened to the degree that their hunches are almost always correct, and also allow them to detect the use of magic and supernatural being. Nephilims have a perfect memory with the ability to recall of everything they ever seen, read, or heard. They possess the ability to enunciate, speak, write, understand, and communicate any language they never heard before. Sign language, illegible words, and backward speech and writing. They could even communicate with animals or read body language. They can even achieve natural proficiencies with all types of weapons and combat style without the need of special or long-term education. Nephilims has the supernatural ability to experience simple or prophetic visions of the future. At first, they are merely capable of experiencing vague dreams of the future while asleep. While in their awakened state, they experience vivid premonition. Either through physical contact with a person. They also gain an acute intuitive insight, meaning their ability to sense the immediate action of people and things in their current location. They can also use the ability to fight and sense their opponent's attack and movements, making them deadly fighters. And their empathy also. Nephilims are able to sense and feel the emotion and feelings of others' life form in their present. They are able to instantly know when someone is lying by hearing the frequency of their voice. This lets the Nephilim establish psychic links with others, even with individuals who can understand each other and become friends of allies almost instantly. This can even go as far as using a link as a tracer to locate those the Nephilim connect with through their feelings. They would normally hear the cries of the wrong, but they can learn to harness the power as they grow, using it to communicate with others. And if you have in contact with some of these people, also tarot readers also, then you know who they are. Clairvoyance. Nephillim possess supernatural senses that allow them to perceive things that human cannot. They can see visible beings. They can see demons in their true form, even while said demons are in human disguise or possessing a vessel. They can see through dimensional barriers. Longevity. Nephillim has a slower aging process while they will die eventually and can live up to 500 years, although most of them never make it that far, considering how often they hunted. Some can be ageless if they are born to be more powerful angels. Nephillim are much stronger than other beings. Their supernatural strength also allowed them to kill animals, humans, and regular monsters with ease. They also have a strength to lift objects thousands of times their own weight, such as cars and tanks, smash through stones, walls, and thick metal. Overpower any individual they engage in contact and take far more trauma from humans can without such discomfort or injury. They are also more powerful than other supernatural creatures except angels and deities. Their strength seems to be tied to their anger, becoming stronger the more they give into their rage. Their strength also extends into the muscles of their leg, allowing them to jump or leap incredible distance and height. Nephilims are said to be faster than non-supernatural creatures and can run an extremely high speed. They allow them to easily outrun any human or demons, and are capable of blurring, which making it necessarily possible for a human to perceive their movements when they are springing or moving at full speed. The reflexes of the Nephillim are simply enhanced and are far greater than normal. The combination with their speed, their reflexes allow them to dodge any attacks, even gunfire. Nephillim can go so fast they become invisible blur that can disappear, that even has sharp senses and high speed. Nephillim balance and bodily coordinates are all enhanced to levels that are equal to, or in most cases beyond, the natural physical limit of even an Olympic athlete. They can also easily perform any complicated sequence of gymnastic stunts such as flips, rolls, springs at speed, and angels that would be highly difficult or impossible for an ordinary human. Nephillim body is physically tougher and more resistant to injuries than the body of a normal human. Although they can be damaged and killed by knives, stabbing weapons, bullets, sharpened, and physical impact, their bodies hold together much better than normal. They can withstand great impacts such as powerful blows that would severely injure or kill a human. Falling from a height of several stories or being struck by a pony of similar or greater physical strength that would severely injure or kill a normal human with little or no comfort. Let's get into it because it gets more. Nephilims are able to fully heal and recover from injuries such as gunshot, broken bones, burns, bite wounds, damage or missing eyes, and torso implant. The speed of regeneration is usually dependent on how severe their injury is. Standard cuts and wounds tend to heal very fast, while larger wounds can take place a few minutes. Nephilims are immune to most poison and drugs, and their acceleration metabolism allows them to stay in near perfect shape with only light exercise. Their increased metabolism has the side effects of dramatically increasing their appetite. They also make it extremely difficult for them to become intoxicated from alcohol. Nephilims are also immune to diseases, and it's impossible for them to catch a cold or common flu, cancer, AIDS, any type of major disease or virus has not affected them. Nephillim has the potential to fly. They just have to learn how to. When a Nephillim learns how to fly, they can fly anywhere instantly. As being of angelic descendant, the blood that courses through their veins is blessed with the essence of the divine. Their blood is sacred and is detectable and intoxicating to vampires or other bloodthirsting creatures. As such, any that will feed of the Nephillim or worse committed for the baddest sin of heaven. Find that they are punished for their transgression as the blood burns through their damned bodies. Nephillim can also use their blood to heal others by transfusion. It is with their own blood. It can also be used to restore a deceased human back to life. They also use their blood to mix it in weapons to use against supernatural beings, such as filling bullets with their blood. The angelic blood both adds to their beauty and causes the general golden glow that appears when they are in the best of mood. A Nephillim, no matter what type of angel their parents is, can manipulate holy elements. They can sum it within their hands or create structure of that divine element. This ability allows the Nephillim to use holy elements without the limitation and weakness of normal elements manipulating, and become the power has healing and anti-demon properties. When a Nephillim spirits, that power becomes unstable, since a major aspect of their strength comes from their rage. This cause that could give them advantage over entities. However, it is double-edged sword that leaves the Nephillim black out once that power is far beyond their control. This is their weakness. Nephilims are still half human, poses human-like souls, and still experience human weakness. They stronger than any other being except angels, who can mostly overpower them with their might, unless the Nephillim is the offspring of a significant angel, such as an angel of the first sphere, thrones, cherubims, and seraphims. Angels and gods regards the Nephilims as the worst kids of abomination, more detestable than of even demons. An angel will always react negatively to a Nephilium and will always interpret the Nephilium words and action in the worst possible light. Only a direct order from the identity they serve will ever cause an angel to aid a Nephilium in any way. Nephilium cannot benefit from healing or other miracles from angels. So you see what I'm saying? These people can't do any healing. They can't call any healings. They can't do any miracles, like what God would do in the angels, because they're half angel and half human. And so when they're not called by God, these people are not called by God, and they worship entities, energies and dark stuff is what they do when they get into their dark side or get in touch with their dark side. They, because they possess human and angel in their blood. So as you see, as I'm reading insights on this, this is what God was showing me. And so I just wanted to read to you all to let you know about Nephilims, the characteristics of them, their behavior. If you encounter any of these chosen ones, spiritual being, and earth angels, what these people are. So let's go on. Let's get on to it. When a Nephilim is furious, their power become unstable. Since a major aspect of their strength comes from their rage, this could give them an advantage over entities. See, it goes back to that. Well, however, it is double-edged sword that leads the Nephilim black out. See, when they tap into their rage, going against earth angels, divine spiritual ones, and twin flames, and soulmates, and divine counterparts, when they go against that with their rage, their bitterness, malice, hatred, when it goes into that rage, it's unstable. And that's where it becomes obsessed. They get into that characteristics of being obsessed over someone's energy, someone's soul, someone's life, someone's destiny. And when they do that, it overpowers them to the point that they black out. They actually black out because they built up so much rage and so much power and strength to come against people. These are the people, like I say, these are the fallen angels from heaven. They fell from heaven to earth and decided to mix with humans. They are raged because God called them abomination. He did not accept them anymore. He even had Archangel Michael and all of them to come against these people. So when you have people talking about, oh, I'm calling on my Archangel Michael, and I'm just saying, just be mindful and discernment of the spirit. Because if you don't do your research and research on things that God give you in the spirit world, or in your dreams, or in your natural state, or your visions, and if you don't research and you follow people, I see that there's a lot of tarot readers. I'm just going to stay on that topic for right now, and then I'm going to go into something else. But a lot of tarot readers, if you wondered how they pick their names, look at how they pick their name or their channel. And you need to study that. You need to look at it. You need to see, beyond why people pick certain names for their channel and certain practice and belief that they do. You have to look at that, because they're trying to blind you, and they hide behind dark entities and dark energies. They're worshiping satanic things Monday through Saturday, and then they want to worship God on Sunday. You can't mix the two. God will not allow you to mix the two. Satan and God, you can't mix them. It brought back to a story, a dream actually, that I had, where I talked about in one of my sessions that it somehow YouTube didn't want me to get that video out. So, but I got it out, parts of it out anyway in other videos, and in this one too. So I'm going to post this on other social media sites that I have also to get this out, because it needs to be. This is something that God wants the chosen one, spiritual being, to be knowledgeable and to recognize what is among us. If you are a true earth angel, a true spiritual being, a true chosen one by God, the 144,000, then you will recognize this. You will resonate with this. You probably have already encountered people like this in your life, and you wonder why when you come around them you get some type of strange feeling, some type of strange presence, the way they look, the statue, the origin, the type of employment and work field that they get themselves into, the type of business that they encounter themselves into, the type of lifestyle and type of homes and cars that they will drive and live in. This is Nephillim characteristics. So let's go on. Nephilims are viewed as a disgrace and a complete mistake to every normal angel, making them a prime subject for hunting. There are entire choirs of angels dedicated to the extermination of Nephillim. Nephillim are still mortal and are in such still vulnerable to the workings of magic in all its form. Witches are able to give supernatural aneurysm that cause the blood vessels of Nephillim to explode. And extremely powerful witches can even overpower them effectively. Black magic has an adverse effect on them, and they're able to be trapped inside of a pentagram, or magic circle, which weakens their powers to a point where they are no stronger than a normal human. This is their weakness. So this is the characteristics of, the background, a little bit of the background of Nephilims. The lost book of Enoch, where God talks about, these giants. They're called Nephilims or giants that roams the earth. They're half-breed, half angels and half human. They are the fallen angels, and I know God had from what I read, that Archangel Michael's and the other angels war against them. They war against them to come to destroy them, because of God did not like angels mixing with human form and have the ability of God-like powers and also human powers. God did not want that to be mixed. So and this was and the way that I'm getting on it too, because I'm getting more insights and downloads and more revelation of the Hebrew Bible. They're talking about the first occurrence of the Nephilims was in Genesis 6, chapter 6, 1 through 4. And it said, and it was immediately before the account of the Noah's Ark, which is Genesis 6, 4. The Nephilims were in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters. So you see, that's where they became to establish here on earth. And so the Hebrew Nephilims, in the King James version of the Bible, is referred to as giants. That's how they refer to as giants. Like in some of the King James Bibles, version of the Bibles. But when you go into like the English Standard Version of the Bibles, and then it will say the word Nephillim. And like I said, there are offsprings, of human and angels. And then it talks about the giants in Canaan, which talk about second numbers in the Bible, chapter 13, 32 to 33. They talk about the 12 spies reported that they have seen fearsome giants in Canaan. It said, and there saw that the Nephillim, the son of Anak, Anak is the name, who come of the Nephillim, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. So you see, they compared themselves as little tiny, beings, animals, compared to all these big giants in their eyesight. And then it goes into and it's talk about the outside of the Pentateuch. It's if I'm saying it right, it's like a passage from there. So Ezekiel chapter 32, 17 to 32, of special significance in Ezekiel 32 to 27, which contains a phrase of disrupted meaning, with the traditional vowels added to the text in the medieval period. And it's called the Gibberam Nephillim, which means fallen warriors, or fallen Gibberam. Gibborim is the name. So, which means fallen angels, from heaven. They just changed the wording of it, rephrased it, instead of calling Nephilims or giants, they call them that in different parts of the Bible. And then this one, let's read about this one, because it has a different, they talk about it differently too in Ezekiel. They lie with the warriors, the Nephilims of old, who descended to Sheol, Sheol is the word, which their weapons of war. They placed their swords beneath their head, and their shield upon their bones. For the terror of the warriors were upon the land of the living. And like I said, that the fallen, they have the word as Nephillim, which is Nophillim, instead of Nephillim. So you see how they changed the words, in Genesis is where they talk about this. And they have and you can tell these people, by their characteristics, of how they react to different things here on earth. And you know, with this topic, it's very hard to explain because of what God was showing me in different things about it. I just given you some of the characteristics of the behavior, different signs that you can see if they try to come into your dreams state or encounter in your in the natural realm, in the spiritual realm also. To be mindful of who you encounter and who you think that is sent by God and of God. That's where you have to come in your discernment. You have to rely on your intuition, your intuitive side, your psychic abilities. Believe in yourself that things here that God is revealing, exposing here on earth has been back there in centuries and generations before even Jesus was born. You know, during the ages of Adam and Eve, with this. And where God kept the book of Enoch out of the Bible, which is called the lost books of the Bible. And there's many books in it that was lost, that was never made it into the King James Version or the International Version or whatever type of Bible that is out there, because there's so many now Bibles that has been translated and been altered. But if you go into the true book of Hebrew Bible, which is in Hebrew writing, and if you could understand that, then that's when it gets deep down into the truth of how everything was being created, how God created this earth and created us and everything else that's in it, and about the fallen angels coming to earth, mixing with human form and different things like that, and why you wonder why certain people have such abilities. And I look at this because if you look at the World Guinness Book of Records, and you see how so many people has broken different Guinness Book of Records. So if you look at stuff like that, this is part of the Nephillim generation, where they have exceeded and broken world records, and their strength and their talent and different things come from. They are part of that generation that is living among us, and live among us on earth. And also they can go into the spiritual realm too. So with that, you know, like I said, they can be peaceful at times, but then they can tap into their rage side, especially if they feel like someone is trying to exceed them or trying to be more important than them or trying to get ahead than them. And if they see that God is on that person's life and God is blessing that person and ranking the person above them, then this is where they go into this rage and this obsession to come after the chosen ones in the spiritual being, and come after the twin flames. They come after the soulmates. They come after divine counterparts. They start attacking you. spiritually and naturally, because they're not close to God. They're not angelic, to where they're close to God. They're close to the divine. They're not. They're fallen. They are fallen angels for reasons. So they're not close to God at all. They operate mostly in their dark side. They do a lot of shadow hunting. And when I say shadow hunting, they can do things in the dark when you're sleeping. Also in your waking life too. But mostly they do it while you're sleeping. Because you know when you're sleeping, you're in a conscious state. You know, your body becomes into a rest. And when you sleep, you know, you start off with sleeping. You start off like where you just fall into sleep. And it's called like an alpha. And then you have, it's like different ones that start off with alpha. Then you go into alpha, then you go into beta. You know, it's different ranges in sleep pattern that you go into before you come into that stillness, conscious state where you're in a deep sleep and where you're able to connect to the heaven realms, the spiritual realms, the underworld realms, where you can connect deeply, and where you do your out-of-body experience, your astral projection, and traveling is where you do all that when you get into that deep state, that consciousness of sleeping. And by me talking about this, I can, you know, I feel God's presence and the anointing is up on me as I talk about this, because it's very deep and powerful. He got me going, you know, I'm going to read more up on this and do more videos about this, because it needs to be told. We need to be aware of this, what's among us. You know, why people have such abilities. You know, where the intelligence come from, where the creativity and the abilities to do something, like, for instance, like all these electrical cars. You know, where did this come from? How did they even know how to do electrical cars? How do you even know how to do hybrid cars? See, think about all this stuff, you know. Even I look back on COVID. How did they come up with the vaccine for COVID? You know, and then all these booster shots and different things that comes there. Where did they get the knowledge, the insight? Where did they get how to develop COVID disease or virus? How did they develop that? You know, where did cancer come from? Where did AIDS come from? HIV. You know, heart disease, different things. Where did all this come from? And how was they able to get medication? Or how are they able to come up with a method, you know, to either heal or to stop the growth of something? See, these are things that we have to look at, that is in our world, the matrix. We have to look at all of this. And once you awaken, your senses and your heightened are aware. You on a very high frequency with the divine one, your ancestors. and other celestial beings, your angels. You begin to see world in a different perspective. More downloads and more revelation comes to you. And like I said, there are some people that will look at my videos and take it for their own and act like that they created this and they created that, or they came up with this ideal, or God gave them downloads for this. Yes, there are some people that God truly give them downloads and give them revelation to explain. I'm talking about the fake ones that they know that their gift has been taken away from them, stripped down. They no longer has spiritual gift or psychic gifts. It's been taken down because of what they've been doing against the chosen ones and the spiritual being. They took that gift and made it evil. And God has stripped them. And you would know by the fruit of their labor. You would know by the fruit of their labor. Are they really chosen by God? You can have a big platform, a whole lot of social media followers and everything, but it doesn't mean that you are chosen by God. It doesn't mean that you was called by Him. And that's what people has to understand, that just because people has a lot of likes, subscribers, or followers, or whatever, doesn't mean they are chosen by God. You need to look into their lives, because anybody can come on and create a good story, create a good picture, and downplay what's truly is been spoken by God. They can hide behind a mask. They can cloak themselves and say they're such a wonderful person and they all out for humanity, and they're really not. They're all about self-indulgence and greed, and how they can suck the life out of the chosen one and spiritual being. Because these people, like I told you, these people know who we are as earth angels, spiritual beings, star seeds, light workers. They know who we are. They know we are the 144,000, and they try to mix their self into the 144,000, and they're really not. They so dark and envy inside. They're hypocrites, is what God says. They are hypocrite, and that's what the hypocrite are. A hypocrite will will worship the devil, and then they also worship God on Sunday. That's a hypocrite. And it's abomination to God. So what these people do is, because they know that God is not with them, Archangel and Archangel Michael are not with them. They are not with these people. They try to destroy these half-breed angels and half-breed human. Go look it up for yourself and read about them, and you will see. They're only here to get your energy, to feed more on their ego. Because if you go back, it says that when I talked about it, it says that they go stronger on human souls. And that's what they do. You know, that's how they get stronger. It's by feasting on human souls and their energy. And seeing, like they said, you know, they look like human, but they can be combined angelic angels with a human soul. And that's what they are. They're very arrogant people. And like I said, my stuff is copyright. And I know particularly some is doing this. It's copying my videos, being a copycat of me, saying they're from the chosen ones, saying they bring judgment and different things, that they're going through their healing journey and their healing awakening. All of this, it's just a copycat trying to be me, want my destiny, try to attack me on all different levels, and everything has been backfired and returned to sender. And they know it, because when they do their readings, I can hear the anger and rage in their reading, because they can't defeat me. So then you want to study moon cycles and how to do different rituals and different things during moon cycle through astrology and through the zodiac. You're doing readings, unauthorized readings, and you wonder why things are not working and happening in your life, because of your bitterness, your hatred, your anger, because you don't have the gifts and the talents no more. You're not being called by God. You are not being recognized. Everything you do is now through black magic, to try to deceive people and keep them in the matrix, keep them in delusion, creating illusions. Things that are not there is what you try to create. And once the chosen ones, divine beings, divine counterpart, twin flames, and soulmates begin to waken up, and they begin to see the fog, through the fog, it's begin to brighten and be clear now. I already know who you are. You've been exposed. I already know who you are. You've been exposed. And if you come into my energy again and into my dream state, I will slay you. It's a warning. Don't test my abilities and don't test my powers. This is nothing new to me, being a spiritual warrior in the spiritual realm and on earth. Don't test me, because I know you don't have any more powers, no spiritual gift, no nothing. I already know that. It's already been spoken to me, and I already seen where I defeated you so many times, and you're still trying to come for me. Like I said, it's a warning. Stay out of my dreams and my energy, because I already know who you are. You can cloak, you can hide, but I still know you're a shapeshifter, and I know who you are. You can try to discredit my videos and say that I'm not a true prophet, which I am. And you know deep down inside, I am a true prophet of God. And everything that I speak, it comes to pass, and it has come to pass before and over the years. God already know you trying to be a copycat. That's why nothing works out. Everything you try to send my way, it backfire back in your face, and you know it. You want to share my energy, but you can't. It's just an illusion that you try to create, and it doesn't work. Because I saw through that. You tap into readings. Oh yes, you go to a lot of readings. I'm exposing you now. You go through a lot of readers and try to see what's energy is flowing, and then you try to create your reading also. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Because God said enough is enough as of this day. You trying to harvest something on the full moon when it come, and it won't even harvest. The day you try to do that is the day you get stuck, and God will destroy you. He will destroy you spiritually and naturally. Because you're trying to come up against chosen ones' destiny. Because you don't have a destiny of your own. No creativity of your own. You try to take other people's creativity and make it for yourself, and you prosper off it by doing black magic. You try to come against divine marriages and union through your black magic. And then you say you all for the help of people. And you all for the chosen ones, the divine ones, twin flames, and soulmates. You act like you all on our side. And you really not. You of the dark. You of the fallen angel. Is what you are. That's in your blood. Which is an abomination to God. And that's why he was out to destroy you, your generation, your legacy. Your descendants. Like I said, it's a warning. I'm warning you. Stay out of my energy. Stay out of my dreams. Because I know who you are. And I will destroy you this time. For good. Because you don't have no powers. You have no powers over a true divine chosen earth angel that's been called by God. That I've been in spiritual warfare battle ever since I was 8-9 years old, where I developed all my gifts. And now that I'm in my fully calling, fully awakening, my fully healing, it's nothing that you can bring up my past to make me go back and get stuck. It's no entities that you can attach to me or to my energy. It gets sent right back to you because they know who I am. I will finish my spiritual journey, my spiritual mission, my spiritual path. It's nothing you can do about it. All the blessings and prosperity and abundance, happiness, joy, and love, all of that is in my life now. And I move forward and continue to move forward. You cannot hinder it. You cannot even slow it down. No more. God has removed that also and sent it back to you. Everything that you wish on the divine chosen one in my life, everything has been sent back to you. 10 times 100-fold. Before it even get off the ground good, it's been sent back to you. And you know it. But you try to create delusions like you still got it, and you know you don't have it. And now you stuck with these entities and entities that you have sent out to people. Now you're stuck with it. You can no longer hinder divine chosen one, spirit being, earth angels, star seeds, and light workers. You no longer can hinder them. And you know that too. Pretty soon, a lot of these people are going to start exposing themselves for who they really are in their reading. And all you got to do is listen to the reading, and you can see the anger, the hatred, where they're going to start exposing themselves. You're going to see the deep down inside of someone's soul and their mind through their reading. And you're going to detect the good and the bad. God is going to heighten the gifts of the chosen ones, spiritual being, the knowledge, the insight, how to recognize, how to conquer, how to expose the truth and destroy. Because some of these Nephilims are taking their gift the wrong way. Instead of being peaceful and maybe doing some good, some of these are doing it for evil. There's a lot of what they call themselves spiritual practitioners. I call them root workers to me, because when you're dipping and dabbing in herbs and black magic and all that stuff, that's what it is. And you can do good and evil. There's no such side to you. You can either do good magic or you can do evil magic. And that's what people have to come to discernment and understand. That when you get in different readings from different people or practitioner or whoever, be discerning of the spirit. Be very discerning of the spirit. Be mindful, because they could be harvesting your soul, your destiny, because they know everything about you. Your date of birth, your name. Only thing that I do then look at the cards and read your little whole life history. Be mindful, because we are living in the last days. And it will be where you see some strange things be happening in this season, in the weather, and on earth. And we see it now. You can see where family members is going to be turning against each other. More and more killing. More and more diseases and viruses that they won't even have a cure for. The signs and the wonders of the heavens we begin to see in the clouds. I see it all the time. And a lot of my postings that I do, God shows me signs and wonders all the time. And I know this video is very lengthy and long, but God wants me to get it out. And I will get this video out for all to hear and to see. If it takes a couple of days of getting it uploaded, because I'm not sure what's going on with YouTube, but lately they've been like slowing down videos. I'm pretty sure they're probably listening to the video and trying to get the video out and leaked out, so that way other readers or whoever can, get a whiff of it before it's been downloaded, to stop my reviews and all this stuff. Like I said, I don't care about reviews. I just want to get the message out there to God, what God has said for me to get out there to people to know. I'm a messenger. I'm a spiritual warrior, an earth angel, and I'm a healer. I was called and ordained by God with my spiritual gifts. Yes, I'm prophetic, and I see visions and dreams. And that's why I probably figure out that's why people want to come attack me through that. But you don't know how protected I am by God, my ancestors, and my angels, because they protect me. They're with me all the time. When I'm traveling, they're with me. When I'm at home, they're with me. In my dream state, they're with me. You trying to stop a messenger of God, and God does not like that. You trying to stop a destiny which was already written from the day that I was born. That's why my name is Grace. That's why God gave me the name Grace. You can't stop anything. You wasting your energy and your time trying to sabotage something that was already written for me to go through this and to reach victory and success, which I already seen. And I stand on God's word when he comes to me and he speaks to me, that I will and I shall have victory and success and prosperity and happiness and abundance and wealth. Happy marriage, happy life, and even children. You cannot stop this. You cannot stop it. He has stopped it. He has stopped you in your dead tracks. And you know it. You stuck. But you're still trying to do magic to manipulate. And you get even more stuck. When will you learn that when someone is truly called by God, there's nothing, no black magic, no nothing can harm and hurt this person? Because of the heavy protection and the high levels of shifting and frequency that this person is vibrating on. You can never get to that level because everybody has their own certain levels. You can never go through life experience that I went through. You can never. You wouldn't even make it. The things that I did for spiritual battles and spiritual warfares, you would never be able to make it out there. So stop trying. So stop trying to be a copycat. You can't have my destiny. That's unheard of, uncalled for. You will never be me. You will never have the talents that I have, because my talents and my gift is unique to me. Just like God has talents and gifts unique to everybody. And people just need to tap into their own unique gift and their destiny, their life purpose, and stop trying to walk in somebody else's life and destiny and purpose that's not meant for them, and you wonder why things are not happening for you in a good way, that everything is happening for you in a bad way because of your greed, your rage, your hatred on divine being, spiritual ones that truly has the gift and has been called by God. You hate on that because of your legacy and your descendant and how you was origin and made from. So until next time, I hope that this resonates with a lot, and that you get some revelation, insight. And like I said, God talk about in the Bible that you study to show yourself approved. Do your own research. Be discernment of the spirit. Be very intuitive of who you encountered, who you follow, who you watch, and who you are entertaining spiritually and naturally. Be mindful of your dreams and your energy. Cleanse it every day, every night. Pray and meditate. Do your fasting. Listen to what God is telling you and take heed to it. Because we're fighting a spiritual battle here on earth and in the natural and the spiritual realm. More wrath and destruction, disease, and different things is going to be coming to this earth. We have to be prepared. We have to be prepared. Because it's going to get worse. Instead of getting better, it's going to get worse here on out. The storm is brewing. The storm is coming. It's a warning. And like in my other video, Gabriel had already sounded his trumpet with the other angels. So it's here. And now that's when all these spiritual awakening and healing beings that needs to be woke up, 144,000, needs to get on their mission, their spiritual path, their spiritual journey, and complete their healing so they can be ready for battle, spiritually and naturally, because the war is coming. And like I said, you can always go back and watch my videos and channel, and you can see me speaking of these things. And then you go back and see particular people, is what I'm going to say, was try to say the same thing or try to discredit me when they know I'm speaking the truth. Because they have already looked in my cosmic records. They're always pulling cards on me, and I see that in the spirit, and I know it. I know you try to do things around the moon cycle. I know that too. Nothing is hidden from me, because God is always showing me. and protecting me, my ancestors, and my angels, especially our Angel Michael and the rest of the angels. Everything in my life is destined and ordained by God that I have to go through. And I know that everything is going to be successful in my life. No, you cannot hinder no more. You cannot hinder anymore. It's over. It's over. Your gifts and everything has been stripped from you, and you know it. And I don't know why I keep talking about it, but it is. And you're fighting a losing battle. You is fighting a losing battle. You just putting yourself further danger. Every time you try to come up against me or the chosen ones, the chosen beings, spiritual beings, light workers, earth angels, star seeds. Every time you try to come up against us, you're getting stuck further into your delusions, your illusions. And everything you wish on is always get sent right back to you before you even get off the ground and get started. And you try to come after other people and try to bring judgment and portray other people when you know you're the dark one. You are the dark one in Nephillim. And you've been exposed today. And like I said, I warn you. You come into my dreams, my energy again. I have no other choice but to slay you and destroy you for good. Because I know your weakness. Just like you know my weakness, I know your weakness too. It's such amazing how God would turn tables around. I know your abilities and I know your weakness. Until next time, peace, love, joy, and happiness. This is Gracie, the divine, angelic, chosen one, and also my spiritual channel, the Spiritual Earth Angel 623. Have a blessed day.